I've always been fascinated because you have done things in your career your way. You've been offered an awful lot of things. There was that the situation where Paul Heyman like offered you an Evolve contract on the spot. Obviously, not signing that ended up being a very, very good thing for you, considering the trajectory of your career. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago you said, I probably wouldn't sign with AEW unless they had an agreement with New Japan or something. Well, that's changed an awful lot. There was also word that you had signed a 5-year deal in 2019. Like, the nature of like where your career is going and where you could go is always a hot topic of discussion. Is that like a flattering thing to you, or is it like an exhausting thing to you? I mean, people are always interested in where you could be or where you will be.
No, it's always flattering if people do enjoy my work, just because once again, I grew up in a small area of Essex and I still live there now. I refuse to leave. Um, and it's flattering to know where people want me to show up and where people want me to go. Uh, and you are right and all of that. Yeah, I signed a 5-year back in 2019, so that'll be up next year. And like, I don't really know. Like, my heart says I still will be with New Japan, but like, I won't lie to you. Like, I have mad anxiety when it comes to America, and just because I come from such a small area and America is so big, so I've only really dipped my toes into American wrestling. Like, I mean, I've done my stint with Ring of Honor, but like, I think I wrestled there maybe 10 times, maybe. But like, I kind of like to arrive and then leave. I don't like to stick
Yeah.
around too long. And that's no one's fault besides my own. It is just a mad anxiety that I do have. But I won't lie to you and say that like the time that I did have with AEW did open my eyes, and what I think that I know about myself and how good I am as a professional wrestler, being over there did make me take a step back and say, okay, well, maybe there is more to learn. But my heart does belong to New Japan after so many of the stuff. Like, these guys are the reason why I am a star. Like you said, there was that Evolve contract, and like that could have opened doorways. But I knew in my heart, if I stuck out with New Japan and if I worked hard, like, no one has the work ethic that I do when it comes to wrestling. A lot of the guys put their work ethic into like their social medias and their bodies and their other little ventures outside of wrestling. But like, my whole thing is I wanted to be one of the best wrestlers going, and that is down to everything that New Japan has done. And the thing is why with New Japan is that I can stay in Essex, fly out, business, I must add, business class, head over to, and live a real comfy life where I've got my family and I've got New Japan. But like, with now other options, I don't know what's going to happen, but my heart definitely says New Japan.
When you see like they seem to be very accommodating to Pac. Like it seems like he can kind of just go back and forth and all that stuff. And you see the relationship with New Japan. It's not only is it blossoming. I mean, a little spoiler: fans voted Forbidden Door on our site the event of the year. So obviously that relationship is going great. Does that open your mind to a little bit more of that? Because I feel like we could see deals where New Japan and AEW are like, let's do a dual deal and make this work.
I mean, if the money talks these days, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and I'll happily say it. Like, like, I'm on phenomenal money, and it's money that I could literally only dream of. But like, it's just one of those things where I want to be able to make sure my mum and dad never work again. I want to make sure that this house is paid off one day. It's still got like 24 years left on the damn mortgage, bro. So still got a long way of bumping and feeding to go. But like, this I'm just inspired to wrestle and at my best, and to have complete freedom of who I am as a wrestler. Because if anyone else had control over me, like, New Japan allows me to be as fluid and as creative as I want. Having someone else have control of me does intimidate me a little bit, because I'm not the best actor, I'll give you that, but I'm one of the best wrestlers.